Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third season of Dungeons and Dragons. It's been a good 2 to 3 months of long hiatus of me running different RPGs other than D&D, and we're gonna be starting this new season with new characters and a new story. From season 1 and season 2 onwards, if everybody remembered, most of our viewers remembered, is that the heroes first started as level 1 characters journeying the lands, trying to actually solve the dangers of the lands, from lizard folks to orcs to vampires, and even the other normal people from the lands that seek help. But throughout season 1 and to season 2, which is where the story started to change, where one of the player's characters, known as Paiteon, was mischievous enough in actually trying to actually trick the cult of the dragon in seeing him as the chosen one, which of course the vision that was shown to him was entirely different altogether, which he believed that the dragon chosen him, but who actually chose who. In the end, when Tierson dipped his hand into that goblet of fire, that was when his soul was engulfed and taken over by Abazigal, the great worm, the blue dragon himself from ancient lore, from a land far and wide, from another different dimension that actually taken over his body. And from there, this dragon wrought havoc throughout the lands. At first, it flew from the regions of Ragami and destroyed what remains of the old town of Shizizuo and killed many of his Leonin and Tabaxis that dwelt within their houses, burned to a crisp women, men, and children, killed by this dragon, which of course Tierson was actually unable to control until he met with a deal with the dragon that made him actually control it temporarily. But to the other heroes that saw Tierson being possessed, to them he was just merely a creature that needed to be stopped, needed to be put down like the wild animal that he is. And only a few people actually knows that he was actually innocent. But even then, those heroes has been silent by due to some certain magic that actually engulfed them. Warway the kobold stuck forever as an egg for about another 120 years. Even way before Durotan and the others' life would have left them. Their children's children will be then taken over. But that will only be at season 4. Perhaps another 30 years have passed, or maybe season 5. 60 years have passed. But we still got season 3 to conclude, 12 episodes apparently, which will take a span of 3 months. 3 months of non-stop Dungeons and Dragons every Sunday. And this is where I would see what the player's action would actually take them. Each action will have repercussion, as each of the players know. If they do something, stupid follows. So if their action is right, the right action is there. If their action is wrong, the wrong action is there. With multiple endings. Season 2 ended with a bad ending for perhaps for few players, but to some, it was a good ending to them. Being rulers, being traders, creating the towns that they need to be, and then raising it to be a kingdom. But in this world itself, during that 30 years of time span, Durotan have his own children, raised them as if is fit, trained them with other heroes from the land, making sure that they will be able to survive the land when they actually do travel with it as adventurers. And also during this time, Rhinzey of the old city's wall combined his strength with Varus of Revstum, making that small little village into a magnificent city with tall steel walls made of stone and iron. And also, they were the first people to actually create the Adventurers Guild, the first guild of many, which spread throughout the land from Argame towards the south to Cornelia, and also towards the east and to the west, where many adventurers sought and opened up their own adventurers guild, bringing in all these young adventurers wanting to seek fame and glory, just like the heroism of Paiteon, Durotan, Varus, Rhinzey, and Cornelius, where their news spread when they vanquished that blue dragon. Others tend to see them as the heroes as they are, but deep within, there are things that's actually well hidden. But going back to Paiteon, that 30 years she traveled the lands, traveled through the northern mountains, through the Duga Mind, even seeking audiences with the Emerald Dragons. But also, her adventures is only not to actually seek out the treasures, since she could not travel down to the dungeons herself by herself. But her quests actually brought her to seek out the true nature of the cult of dragons. Did Tirsen actually fall to the darkness that engulfed his very soul, or was he controlled? But Paiteon followed every lead that she could, every clue that she gathered, until she reached one of the great mounts of Soryu, of Karatur, where she wrote her hippogriff known as Gryffindor towards the very peak. But before she actually reached, another incident happened in one of the lands ruled by the great daimyo Oda Nobunaga. Within the courtroom scene, you see the great tiefling warlord himself, Daimyo Oda Nobunaga, talking to a young human known as Revus. Revus, with his long hair, lightly gelled backwards, almost touching the collar of his long coat, white, elegant, perhaps designed by the best merchants throughout the land. His blade and his shoulder armor to his left perhaps protects him from the danger that he is. But you don't, what others, they can't see his weapon. And then the great Oda looked to him, sitting on his throne, the two dragon statues standing next to his left and right pillar, circling each of his strong wood oaks. The long carpet that Revus walked towards Oda. He bowed his head and standing on one knee, then he raised his head and looked up, and Oda then speaks and said, "You have bring great news from your land, Argame, young Revus. What news do you bring with you this time?" Young Revus slowly got up from his kneeling position and then looked to Oda Nobunaga. He speaks in a well-mannered voice. And then he just speaks. "Lord Oda, my father have give me this gift to you. Please take this as a token of our gratitude." He gave Oda what seems to be a crystal floating slowly in mid-air. To many, this crystal was known as the Crystal of Chalice, the crystal that protects the lands from darkness and many dangers of the undead. Whoever that actually take this crystal from that land itself will forever be haunted by the likes of werewolves, undeads, and things that walk the night. Lord Oda, his horn is sticking up from his forehead. His two katanas to his back. He holds one of his hilt, and he looks to young Rivers. "Ah, indeed," he speaks out. "This crystal will actually protect Malan." And then, "What of yours?" He speaks out to young Rivers. And young Revison looks up and he said, My father wished no ill intent towards you, my lord, but we do hope that you send the protection that we need from you. We have done what you have asked us. I've heard the stories from my father. I have heard the exploits of my father's friends. But to them, it is best that they are just being kept towards the shadows, my lord. Revstum speaks out. He readjusts his hair, holds his chin down, and then with his right hand behind his back, and then his left armor plate hand resting on his waist. They look up to Oda. They said, "But my lord, I'm here to also bring with you the guests that you need. People loyal to my father. Those that are loyal to the cult of the dragons. I bring to you one, a Leonin. We call him Subarashi, and you can see this Tabaxi or Leonin with white hair or mane walking towards Oda. He kneeled towards him and he speaks, Great Oda, I venge and pledge my life to you. And Oda looks to him and he speaks, No, I heard stories about you. You are Rhinzey's brother. Oda speaks, looking into the Leonin. The Leonin then looks up and then he said, Yes, Lord Oda, but he does not know that. He does not know the true meaning until, of course, he sees me. And Lord Oda then looked up to Ravus and said, This is indeed the great general that you have given me, Ravus. But why would no you yourself do not take him? Ravus and slowly then speaks out calmly and he said, Ah, it's because, my lord, my father do not want to keep the same people they used to work with. It is best to actually keep them in secret until the time comes. But I do have another that have pledged her loyalty to me, my lord. And then Varus grabs his hand. You may walk forward. You see a woman, pale in skin, red cloak covering her head, her white silvery hair is flowing down her full plate armor, carrying a double-handed sword. Then she speaks and kneels. Lord Nobunaga, you will call me Astrid, Astrid Beyond. I pledge my soul and my life to you. Then Oda looks to her. Ah, the defiler of the east, the bloodsucker of the lands that defiled the village. You left them all for dead. Not even a single one you turned. Oda speaks as he looks into the eyes of this young woman. Yes, she speaks out in a hissing voice. There is no need to keep them. Their souls and their bodies is all within me, their blood coursing through my veins, my lord. And I will bring forth an destruction to Revstum and to Shizuo. But, Lord Oda, I would seek something in return for my life and my loyalty to you. And Lord Oda speaks, and then he said, Ah, what do you need, young Astrid? And then she said, I would require a troop, an army, that we would set sail from Karator towards the land of Vow, and from there we would march towards Momoroko and to Revstum. Then Oda then speaks. No. Sending an army over these lands and seas would be too suspicious. The Elven Emperor of Talos would see this as a threat itself. Then she looks up, her face angry, her eyes sharpened, looking at Oda, and she bowed her head. Very well, Lord Oda, but no buts. Oda speaks out. You will wait here until I need of your service. Young Rebus, you shall return back to Revstum and tell your father Varus that I accept the terms. However, I would need the blade in return. And Rebus speaks out. My lord, it is as we speak. There, my father is actually arranging a meeting with Durotan, Rhinzey, and the others. And then young Ravus looks to Genma, the Leonin. Genma walks over. I will gladly attack my brother's palace. But then Oda then turns to look at the Leonin. I will give you. And then after that, from within the shadows, a creature as dark as night suddenly appeared. Its eyes at first showed only one, until it reshapes itself to show two glowing eyes. And Oda then said, These are the Blood Clan, the Abashagwa ninjas. There. And then after that, then Revel said, My lord, what of Paiteon? She is too close in finding the truth. Do not worry, Oda speaks out. She will be dealt with. The ruins itself is well protected. She will not be able to notice the shadow. The shadow walks where it needs to, and where it needs to show itself. And then after that, you see, then the Bat clan then vanish, puff of smoke, and then Oda then looks to Genma. Genma, you shall travel. Take the fastest airship that you can have, and you will attack Rhinzey where he least expect it. Use the night with your advantage. Then you see Genma walks back and kneel and bow his head. Very well, my lord Oda. It shall be done. Then you see Ravus and kneel. Looks at Oda. I will take my leave, Lord Oda. And, of course, where of your daughter, Kaede? And Oda looks to Ravus. My daughter is with her brother. It is not of a concern of yours. And Ravus speaks. I apologize, my lord. I shall take my leave. If I bump into her, then I'll have the gift that I need to give. Then Lord Odanin speaks. Very well. Only time will tell. Until we meet again, young Ravus. But before you leave, I would need to test you first. The lands of Bawa to the south. The barbarians are trying to actually attack my people in their camps. I want you to lead an army against them and make sure that this time they suffer the wrath of Nobunaga. Then Ravus then bowed his head. As you wish, my lord. He walks. Then Astrid walks over to Nobunaga. Lord Nobunaga, what of me? How about me? And Lord Oda then speaks out. Astrid, you will stay here until you are ready. But I would want you to change a number of my troops into one of your kind. You are no longer a Dampier, of course. I believe you have changed into a true vampire. Yes, of course. She speaks out. Her face sneered, and she turns. As you wish, my master. Then she walks away. Then Oda then looks and sits down on his throne, and then looks to his blade and looks to his palm. The time for the void dragon to appear is now. Meanwhile, on top of the mountain ruins, Paiteon, it took you years to find this ancient ruin. This is a ruin of an old battlefield, crashed airships, remains of fallen soldiers all over the cliff itself, at the sides, and many more. Graveyard re erected to actually bury the dead on the ground itself. As you land, you can see the tensioness from your hippogriff, terrified as she is, but you calm her down. Your young ward, of course, couldn't follow you. You actually let Koi to actually stay behind. It could be too dangerous for Koi to actually follow you. But as you see the ancient ruins, you can see the pedestal, you can see the altar further ahead, the altar of the god of death himself, Naru. You have heard about his stories before from the ancient mines, from the ancient ruins. You fought its protectors before. The altar at the front would have told you what you need to do. You are unsure whether you should actually enter the staircase that leads below you. But you look around. Roll for perception, please.
Right? Oh.
He's there, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him moving, so he's there. Right, you look around. You can see your hippogriff outside, looking around, and you notice that he's actually looking up into the sky and then looking to the back. You look to the walls, Paiteon. You look to the floor itself, the eight ruins. You look to the pillars and most of his old ancient tapestries. When you look at most of this ancient ruin itself, you look at all of his design, it's really old. Roll for history. When you look at this old temple, this temple itself seems to be serving an old god. You think to yourself. But you're unsure. You need to actually investigate more. Who is this god that you're worshipping?
Right then. Well, first off, let's see if the altar has anything significant still left with after all these years.
You head towards the altar. You can see the psyche that this god is actually holding. The wings protruding behind its back, even though it's a statue. But the moment you actually walk inside, roll for wisdom saving throw, please.
God fucking damn it.
Holy moly. You are terrified. You are frightened. You are unable to move 60 feet towards the statue, as if the statue pierced towards your very soul. Paiteon. It's as if they can actually see into your sins, see into your past. You can feel as if a voice is actually talking into your head. You're unsure whether that voice is you or somebody else is talking to you. The voice then speaks out, "Be gone and leave this place." You're unsure if it's you because you're terrified. You're frightened at this very moment. You try to actually force yourself to walk closer. Roll for wisdom saving throw again. You took your steps slowly. You walk as if that the terrain beneath your feet is a difficult terrain, but you reach the altar. Your hand is shaking, as if that you are shivering. You're not too sure what it is because of the cold weather. But when you look at the altar itself, roll for religion. When you look at the altar, Paiteon, you're unsure who this person is, but you could be thinking, is it Kalumvor, the god of death and the dead? But is it Jurgel, Mirkul, or Cyric? But upon further investigation, it is Kalumvor. Kalumvor himself, the lord of the dead, the judge of the damned, looking into you, staring into your soul. What do you want to do, Paiteon?
Paiteon Tion sort of just gives a slight bow, mostly to get to sort of look away from the statue while at the same time bowing towards it. I
Alright.
pay my
You look
respects,
away from the
O Lord
statue.
of the Damned.
You turn you turn your gaze away from its scald eyes, its sight, its lantern that it's actually holding. You look at the table, you look at the altar in front of you, old candles that's not being lit for quite some time, dust all over the place. You can see symbols, signs, and even writings on the altar itself. Unsure what it is. What do you do?
Can I take note of these writings at the very least, or try to like sort of translate them or discern their meaning?
Alright. Okay, when you look at it, look at those writings, you stare at it. Okay, first things first, roll for investigation.
That's intimidation.
No,
Oops.
you intimidate the altar. The altar's like, ooh. Alright, okay. And then you look around. You saw an old book on the altar itself. Not sure. You can see its lines. You look it up. You look at it. You flip through the pages. It's all written in languages you're unsure of. Roll for history. Okay. When you look at the book itself seems to be written in. The words itself is actually written in blood. This, the pages itself seems to be made of skin. You're not too sure which skin. We don't know races here, but it could be made of any flesh. But when you look at the words, you've seen these ancient writings before in one of the dungeons when you pick up the dark blade. The dark blade that Cornelius is holding right now, but the blade is actually written in abyssal, infernal, and primordial. Do you have any of this?
I have primordial.
When you look at those language, because it's written in abyssal, infernal, and primordial, you're unsure to see some of the words. Some of it is garbled up, but you can of course roll for your history, but with disadvantage. No minus, just disadvantage.
Please tell me this is fixed since last time. Yes, it is fixed. Okay.
Okay. You look at the words. They says there, rising, gibberish, 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 time, gibberish, 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 destruction, gibberish, gibberish, and then the last word, the void, gibberish, gibberish, and then after that, then the last word, it says rising, time, destruction, void, age of apocalypse.
Typical death worshippers.
But the moment you pick up that book, when you look at the words. Roll for perception.
Ooh,
Okay. Wait, I want to see whether you have control over
I don't. I tried.
Gryffindor. Okay, let me give you access.
Mm.
Okay. Gryffindor's passive perception is 15, but skills is perception. Roll for Gryffindor's perception.
Oops. Let me do that. Trying to find the character sheet. I don't think I have access to the character sheet either. No, there we go. It's in that area. Perception.
Okay. You did not notice at first, the moment you were so busy looking at the book, Paiteon. But suddenly, you hear Gryffindor squawk, the same squawk that she has been saying ever since you found Gryffindor as a small hippogriff, ever since you actually raised her from that young, small, little, tiny bird, from ever since it hatched. It squawks like squawk! The squawk of warning, the squawk of danger. The moment you actually turn, you see some sort of kunai suddenly landed right next to the altar. And then when you look at that kunai, that blade, you can see some sort of words written next to the kunai, written, and you can see some sort of fireworks like psst,
Ah,
as it
shit.
then, the moment you see a bright flaming flash of light from the table itself, you jump away and roll for your dexterity saving throw with advantage. You roll on the floor to the side, far away from the pedestal destroyed by the huge blast. Then, when you actually came to, when you look up, you can see Gryffindor immediately like turn towards you and then looking up, and you can see a number of shadowly clad people. You're unsure who they are, but you hear the voices from top of the roof, and she speaks out to you and then said, Paiteon, from the rule of Rawashogwa, we shall make sure that you do not bring the secret of the void with you.
Can I fire off one immediately, the one talking?
And then, if for anything, roll for initiative.
God damn it.
Alright, I'm gonna give control of these guys to um, Orf and also to wait, where is Durotan's name?
Oh, Adine. It should be on the first.
No, in my drop down, yeah, Dine. Okay, Dine and Orf. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, Durotan. Okay, first things first. All right, Orf, you can take the one on the furthest tree to the left, and then after that, Durotan, you can take the furthest one to the right.
Okay. So I'm taking this guy, is it?
Yeah, one on the right, and then Orf can take the one on the left. Orf, do you want to take the one on the left, or do you just want to watch the scene? If you don't want to control the NPCs, then Aizen will take control all six of them.
Yeah, you take this one.
All right, okay, Durotan, you take all of them.
Okay. Let me just. Okay, that means I have to roll different initiatives for all of them. Okay. Okay, that's the first three over here, and now the other three. me just do one thing. Okay, no.
Alright. Now, Paiteon, before you took out your rifle from your back, because you're still on the floor, you actually try to aim it at this shadowy figure on top of the ceiling. But before you could do anything, this person is already ready to actually attack. Okay, Rotan?
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Okay, they'll just do this one on him. Is it a hit? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
You have it on whisper.
Yeah.
Let
That's the
me let me put
unwhisper.
Patheon's HP and armor class on the bubble.
Mm-hmm. It's a 16. Does a 16 hits you?
Fuck yes.
Okay, you take 4 piercing damage and the target must make a give me a constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah, how's that for you?
Okay,
Pass.
nothing happens to you.
You notice that the kunai struck your shoulder at the side. You're bleeding, but you notice that your arm started to become numb, Patheon. But you struck it off. You quickly just slap that part of the bleed and the poison away as it actually started touches to the floor, and you can see that your blood started to actually become hardened as if it's actually poisoned. This thrown weapon that these people are using against you is poisoned. And now, after being attacked, you quickly took out your rifle and then who do you shoot at?
Shoot at the far one over here.
I want to annihilate him, so I'm activating Old Dish, sharpshooter, and fire.
On who? Just so
This one here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, has 29. Has 27 hit.
Yeah, definitely. It's a hit. Give me a
Okay.
damage.
It's okay.
Yeah, has
These are
38 for damage.
low level ninja.
Oh god, man. Let me just do the minusing as your thing. It's 38. Definitely, you just see this guy, just flies. Yeep.
No, it doesn't fly.
Oh.
It doesn't fall.
Oh, okay.
The moment you took your stormbow, Paiteon, you aim it at this shadowy figure. The moment your stormbow pierced through its chest, you see it immediately disperse into dust. You did not even leaving any remains for you to see. It just completely burst into dust.
Okay. Next. Before I finish my turn, I'm going to bonus action cast Expeditious Retreat. While casting that, I'm gonna bonus action dash as part of the thing it says I could do. How far is me?
The 5 feet
Oh.
thing, DM.
No,
It's not.
it is definitely beyond 30 feet. Okay, you can take that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my base speed is not for 30 feet.
It's lower than 30?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's 30 feet.
Oh, okay. 30 feet.
All right.
Expeditious
You
Retreat
should
allows
be in
me
range
to,
then. You should be in range.
yeah, Expeditious Retreat also allows me to take a bonus action to use the bonus action used to cast a spell to also dash, and it takes half the movement to mount a creature if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Should mount that, and unless you allow me to move unless you allow to mounting rules, which would be the same initiative.
No, the mount cannot do expeditious retreat and striding boots.
Yes, but it
You
has
can
its
on
own
top of the
movement.
mount, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. You after you shot, you quickly rush towards Gryffindor and jump onto Gryffindor's back. But Gryffindor was not actually prepared to actually fly off immediately together with you until you give her the action, which will be later on. Okay. Aizen, controlling the Bat Clan Shadow Ninja. You notice that Paiteon is jumping on Gryffindor and trying to escape together with the book. Now it's your action. It's all your action actually, until Gryffindor.
Okay, this guy will move. I'm gonna assume this is 5.
But as a bad ninja, your task is to take Paiteon or to take down the Gryffindor. Doesn't really matter actually to you
Mhm.
because you are all chaotic evil.
15. I'm gonna be going here because the 5 feet thing is somehow like it doesn't show up. It only show up as words. So I will move.
No, they can jump.
Oh,
Their jumping distance. Their jumping distance is 60 feet.
oh,
They
okay.
can jump from roof to roof, no problem.
Oh, okay, let me just put this guy back into his corner, and this guy will jump near basically this guy over here, and he will like say, "Kill him! Kill the griffin! And burn the book!" And that's when he basically takes a shot at Gryffindor. Does this hits Gryffindor?
I highly doubt a 10
Yes.
hits.
Oh, okay.
No.
Let me see. Do they have anything else other than these things?
Do
Nope.
they have multi-attack?
I am actually checking intense training and then spell casting. Nope, no multi-attack.
Also, I just now realized Griff had this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. You got Tony anyway.
One moment. Where's this guy? Oh, okay, this guy. This guy, we shall stay over here and do the same thing. Fire on the. Okay, they shall actually use this on like make it centered around the griffins because they can see through darkness, but they want to blind Paiteon, so they make it basically centered on.
Can they see through magical darkness?
Hmm?
Can they see through magical darkness?
Yes, they can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And after that, they will. He will. Since basically it's an action to cast this thing. That's it for him. Where is the other guy? Other guy is here, so this guy will now fire his kunai through the darkness. Does it
Who are you
That's a
hitting?
hit. That's a hit.
on the griffin?
Either Paiteon or Gryffindor is a both a hit.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's on the griffin because they want to disable his method of transportation. So the griffin must now roll a Constitution saving throw.
Gotcha.
Let's roll con.
God damn it.
And
Right.
he's now
Yeah.
poisoned for 1 hour. Wait, if the fails through by 5 or more, the
Five or
target is also.
more.
And he's also unconscious now. I never realized it. Okay. This guy basically done his duty. He's like,
Oh.
Griffin has been disabled. Kill him. Kill him now and take the book.
Where's this? There it is.
Okay.
Okay, next
Alright.
next ninja.
Well, Rai can use his inspiration to reroll.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? He's not unconscious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. His poison was not unconscious.
Yeah.
No, I think he is still unconscious because the
No.
DC is 13.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
Five or more. Motherfucker!
Yeah, DC 13. Yeah, more
Anyway,
than 5.
this guy is now. The other guy will shoot at Paiteon now.
Is that a beer?
Oh god! Oh god!
Man.
Give me a DC saving throw yourself, please.
Okay. Constitution. Yeah, 19. No way
Okay.
I'm not letting that damage through.
But 5,
Oh,
but 10
but
HP
10
damage.
damage, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, Gryffindor is unconscious. You need to slap your. You need to slap her silly. Wake up. By using your action though. Medicine.
Medicine.
You need to roll for medicine to. Oh, sorry. Gryffindor is unconscious. Sorry. So Gryffindor cannot do medicine for herself.
Yeah.
So can't fly away. Okay, now round 2.
Okay, since basically also surrounded with magical darkness, this guy will jump from here and shoot at you
Rubber.
with his kunai.
No.
Yeah, definitely not. Your turn.
Paiteon does that. Now it's Paiteon turn. Okay,
Please
Paiteon,
mark
you
the
can actually
magic-
use your action to use medicine to actually wake Gryffindor up. DC 15.
All right. Let me
Wake up, you
double check
stupid
something.
bird!
Uh, hold up.
It's not the time to take long rests.
All right.
Well, you can try to fight them all one by one.
Yeah,
You did
that's
take
what I'm
one
gonna do.
down.
I'm gonna dismount. I got 20 feet of movement left. Bonus action dash. Move towards. Where should I move towards? Move towards here, inwards. So I'm out of the darkness. I'll shoot at the one that just dropped down. Probably just like yeah, there we go.
You jump
And
into the darkness, took out your rifle, and point at the ninja that just jumped down from the ceiling. And
how's
hits.
15 hit?
Oh,
It's a
definitely.
hit, man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
armor class is very, very low.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Minus 15.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Poof! You shoot, turn to a puff of dust, and disappears.
Yeah.
And then there's not really like movement or any action. I'm gonna fall prone.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Okay, this guy now will basically jump from here and then go to here and attempt to attack you with disadvantage since you are prone. So we set it.
Well, if you want to get the advantage, you
Mhm.
can jump towards him and use your ninja tool.
Actually, yeah, it does. It does actually work. So he will do like a classic ninja high jump, and as he comes,
Jump down.
yeah,
Ninja tool. And with advantage. Roll again.
yeah, advantage. Yeah,
Don't miss.
it's still the same thing.
Paiteon, roll on the floor, roll left, roll right. And then you ka-ting, time to stab her while she's on the floor.
Stand still. Okay, where is this guy?
This one is too far away to do
A
a
high
melee
jump.
attack.
Yeah,
But you can do 60 feet forward, but 60 feet is still too far.
yeah. This guy will go here and attempt to shoot at Paiteon, the poison kunai. Disadvantage since
Yeah, you can
it's melee.
just jump 60, throw kunai,
Stop
and then
backseating. Stop backseating. Hush.
that's
Let him play.
it. Okay.
You didn't tell me I was playing the characters wrong when I was doing it. So
Okay.
Okay.
disadvantage. Roll again.
Yeah. 17 still hits.
Okay, it hits. Okay.
Wow.
Give me a Constitution. Why won't you go
I am not getting hit by
unconscious? I mean,
Not
I'm
going to
trying to
sleep.
do you a favor. We're trying to take you and the book. Anyway, next idiot. Okay.
Yep, dealing damage to Paiteon.
I already marked
Just
it
now was
down.
10. Just now was 10. Now
He's on 31
is
health.
minus 8.
Next idiot. Because I'm not seeing the turn. Wait, no. Yeah, this guy now. This guy will move to here, since I basically forgot about him. This guy will move here, and it will do the same. Attack, disadvantage. Does a 17 hits you, good sir?
Yes.
And you take 6 piercing damage, and give me a constitution roll. Finally, you go
Fine.
unconscious!
I don't have any more information, do I? Probably not.
And then, Paiteon, you got struck on the back. And then you feel nauseated at first while you're on the floor. And then last thing you see was this this person all cloaked in black. Walk over to you, use the hilt of his blade, and pop, knock you straight into the face. Our lord, we need a word with you, Paiteon. And that was the last thing you see. And then, but your new character will only be coming out next week. So, meanwhile, Orf! You hear the voices of Maida waking you up from your house. Orf! Orf! Wake up, Orf! Orf! And you woke up from your bed. You hear the banging from outside your door of your house. Then you see Maida, one of the young ladies that actually lives in the village of Momoroko. Like looking at you, you can see Barut seems to be like running around her in circles. Maida just like looked at you and then looks at Barut and then she said, "Can you take your dog somewhere else and make sure that your dog doesn't disturb us?"
Orth whistles
You're
and
so confused.
gets Barut to come next to him.
Then after that, you look at Barut, then Barut just walks over and after it looks at you and after that, just walk over and said, Maida, you can see that her robe is just like covering her face. You notice that she's actually carrying her gardening tools and then she just like putting her hand on her waist and said, Orf. I mean, she looks at her wrist and then looks to you and then she said, aren't you supposed to be doing your regular thing? But it's okay. I'm only here because the priest told me to wake you up. I know you have a long day. I mean, previously before, but we're just concerned about the ruins, the forest near the ruins of Vow. Can you talk to the priest near the cathedral? Can you talk to Anchor Ellison? It's like, you know, the priest as Anchor. It's like the cathedral, the small church that you have is just further up to the house, which is just a walk away from where you are.
No worries, I'll go see what he's after.
And Maida looks, well, thanks for that. What? Well, I'm not the messenger lady, but I'm just here because Anchor actually asked me to. Then after that, she just walks away towards the garden.
I'll move towards the priest, and I'll call Baruth with me.
Okay. Your Drake just follows, and then you can see Anchor. They look to you and say, Orf. Well, then after that, Anchor, he is actually a young priest, perhaps like roughly around his 30s or perhaps like almost reaching his 40s. He was also there during the event of Vow when the dragons actually attacked and mostly ransacked what remains of Momoroko. You can still see the ruins of Momoroko further up towards the north, and a number of adventurers have actually came over towards these ruins and try to actually scour its riches or its resources and whatever gold pieces they can find. However, for you, you've actually managed to actually go through one or two of his dungeon levels, but that's about it. But many other brave adventurers have gone down even to the third and the fourth lowest level, some even reaching to the fifth. But you're unsure how deep this ruin actually go. But you do know that there are actually two tabaxis making a camp outside of the ancient ruin, well, but these two tabaxis mostly just kept to themselves, and sometimes you do pay them a visit. But you can see that the priest Anchor telling you, Orf, Tank Pelor, he speaks out very nicely. I have a premonition again of Vow, and again, I want you to actually check the forest further towards the north. Of course, I would handsomely pay you for what you find, but I do feel some sort of ill omen that's actually happening at the moment. Will you be so kind to scout ahead and see what's wrong? I believe it could be the restless spirits again.
Of course.
That's great, Orf, that's great. But we can't give you much, of course, but I believe that it could be those restless spirits again. Well, try to put them to rest, because our current cleric of the village, he just went to Rhinzey Revstum to visit Rhinzey, and I believe that is there. I'm not too sure what that orc is doing, but well, he is Durotan's son.
Durotan's son's in the village?
No, he. Well, then again, Orf, you remember Durotan's son? Yes, he is. He is a cleric, in a way, or a paladin. You're not too sure, but he left the town just like days ago to actually journey up towards Revstum for a meetup or something. You're not too sure what, but it seems that this could be something similar. That nothing that doesn't really require his help, but Anchor just asks you to actually scout the forest ahead. The certain ancient ruins of Vow that was actually destroyed by Abazigal 30 years ago.
Sure,
What do you want to do?
I can go scout out the area. That's no trouble at all.
Anchor looks. He smiled and then immediately he was pleased. You can see the expression on his face the moment you said so. And then you look at Barut. Barut just looks to you. It's just like it whines a bit, but it's just a whine of concern.
I'll say to Barut in Draconic, it's okay, boy, it's okay.
And then Barut, and then after that, you look to Anchor. Then after that, you took your step past the ruins and head straight towards the dark forest of dread, which many of the people of Momoroko, Revstum, and Sinaphead actually calls it, because many of the people that died during the war of the dragon, even though their remains was buried, they were always raised again as an undead. But they have never actually marched towards Momoroko, mostly just standing further away like a mile or two, or perhaps about 10 miles away from Momoroko village. But you journeyed there. You actually make sure that you don't make any sounds together with Baron. But the moment you actually arrive, you investigate the forest itself. Well, when you arrive itself, it's not even night at the moment. You can't see the sun, but the sun is completely blocked by the sky, the dark clouds. But when you look further ahead, Orf, you can see a number of undeads just walking around. Seems to be slashing at some weed and seems to be like making some sound of moaning undeaf as if they are completely restless. But if only Durotan's son was here, he would probably just banish their spirits as usual and making sure they're fully rested and then give them a form of proper burial ground. But Aizen, I want to give you a chance here. Do you actually want your son to be here, or he was not actually awake, he have not traveled out yet, or he is already at Revstum?
Which one? There's 8 of them. Sorry, there's 4 boys. Which one of the boys do you want him to be here?
Okay, which one of the boys? Well, it depends. Which one do you want to bring out?
Okay, let me see.
You want to bring Uzul, son of Durotan, the life domain cleric, but he was already on the way to Reston. That was what Ashton was saying just now.
Yeah.
Uzul.
Let me actually bring Uzul, the life domain cleric. You put him anywhere you see it's fitting.
I put him. Okay, all right.
Just give him a mount because, you know.
But, Orf, the moment you arrive at the woods, suddenly you hear rustling behind you, like behind the leaf. You're unsure who it is. Is somebody actually sneaking behind you? But unsure. The moment you actually turn, you see the orc, Uzul, appear before you. And Uzul looks to you and he just raised his hand and he just put his hand behind his head and starts smiling. I heard you need some help, Orf, but then again, Aizen, you take over from here. You are late. You actually did try to actually travel out from Momoroko. You're part of the priests. You're one of the priests of Momoroko. Because your father have always asked you and your siblings to be spread out, be with the people, tell them that orcs are not bad people. So you decided to actually stay in Momoroko. You and Orf actually literally grew up together. And then you heard Orf decided to actually head towards the forest to go to investigate the dark phenomenon ever since Bao was burned completely to the ground. The ancient undeads, again, all the warriors that died during that last final battle, again, their spirits feel restless. But this was the weirdest part. You and Orf found out the undead was just too close to Momoroko, and they are more than restless. Now they seem to be attacking any living thing that crossed their path. To the people of Momoroko, this is terrifying because Vow is not that far from your current village. And as one of the priests of the life domain, you actually followed Orf the moment he arrived, making sure that he's not in any particular danger, even though he can actually handle things by himself. And Orf, you know about Uzul, Durotan's son. He's one of the kind-hearted ones. He doesn't really complain much. For an orc, he seems to be very dedicated to protecting life and also making sure that the people of Momoroko is always protected by the darkness. So he's always there, making sure that that werewolf, whites, ghost apparitions do not cross the border reaching Momoroko. And you and Uzu have made sure of this. But you have also have other friends that actually could assist. Because if I want to ask Rinzey or Zyrus, which one of his son is actually at Momoroko? But since that Zyrus is quiet right now, I'm gonna let
Actually, no,
Rai
I'm here.
control the
Hello?
undeads.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yes?
We can hear.
Okay, which of, sons? That'll be Rinker, that'll be firstborn.
Firstborn. Okay, alright. That probably makes sense, I guess. Now, which one is that? Let me see.
Yeah,
Rinkir.
Leonova second. Rinker.
Okay. I thought you're gonna be dragging in the Bard or somebody else.
No, it'll be Rin.
Rinkir never leave Reston, though, unless of course he's here in Momoroko for a particular something.
Do I have to
But
drag the token?
nope, you
Thingy?
don't have to.
Okay.
Okay, while Orf, you were surprised to see Uzul appearing before you. But other than that, Uzul also turned and to look to you. And then behind you, you also see Rinkir, Rinze's son, or the heir of New Sizizo, appearing behind you. And then Rinkir just actually smiled and then looked to you, Orf, and said, well, I don't want to leave you here behind for both of you. Maybe you just need some help. But now, Orf, I'm putting the plate to you. Rai, you're going to be controlling the undead. Do you need more undeads? Because at first I put this undead only for Orf to fight. Because Orf can easily handle this much. But
Do you want to
let's
add more
raise more
undead to the
undeads.
counter?
Let's raise more undeads. Yeah.
It's gonna be Where's Waldo again.
No,
All right.
it wasn't that bad. It was only
Okay,
Kaede that
Orf.
had that issue.
Orf,
I had
you
no
see
such weakness.
of two of the great heroes' children joining you. They all grew up together during the same event. Well, all of you actually, or mostly the same age. Okay, Orf. Okay, Durotan, Uzol. You arrive to see Orf together with Berut, his pet drake, arriving. You can see the undead further in the front, to the distance ahead. Completely unrest. Completely in unrest. Okay, Uzol. Roleplay.
Hey, Orf, why didn't you not call for us? Me and my friend here, we should always be together, you know. We're childhood friends. We should always fight side by side.
Azul, I thought you'd headed out already. Anchor said you'd made way.
I had to pick up Handsome over here. Been slacking off. Aren't you?
And that's when I look into what's this guy's name?
Rinkier.
Yeah, Rinkier.
Rinkier.
Aren't you, Rinkier? Slacking off much, aren't we?
Just I will have my moments, and when I have my moments, that's when I shine. I don't need it all the time. I've already myself countless times, even though if I'm late or slacking, that I will still get the job done.
Really? You do know if your dad was here, he's gonna tell you to drop and give me 50, right?
What he doesn't know will not hurt him or
Yeah.
bother him.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Your dad can smell the smell of incompetence from a mile away. Remember, he fought with my dad side by side, and to this day I have no idea how he can smell trouble, but you don't.
I am just my parents' son. I am a mix of both my mom and dad. I don't have to be all my dad. I can be a little bit of both.
Yeah, true, we can't all be as handsome as my dad, or as powerful as him.
But you see, Uzul is basically like flexing his muscles and all everything around him.
And probably like
Francis-
rolling his eyes right now. Again.
As much as I enjoy you two going at each other, there is bigger things at hand right now.
Yeah, can't you smell it? Smell of these things. Anyway, we should, clear the forest from these things before we head out.
More fun, but
Mm-hmm.
none for
Uzul is like, cracking his knuckles and fingers.
We play,
But Uzul and Rinkir, yeah, both of you went to Momoroko to actually talk to the head leader and to the priests. But you do not want to waste your time because you need to actually travel to Restum for that particular meeting. That since Orf is here, well, may as well you clean up this mess and drag him together with you to Restum. Besides, you will need a good ranger like himself. And when it's also good for you to actually introduce him to your fathers.
Okay. Let's clear these things as we make our way back to Shizi Restum. That way you can meet father and his father too. That'll be my uncles somehow.
Same rules as last time. Fewest kills pays for the tab.
Unfortunately, yes. So, just make sure you two have plenty of copper left in your pocket, because by the time I'm done, there's gonna be neither a skeleton in sight.
Alright, okay, alright, Rinker, roleplay to you, then roll for initiative. What you will say, Rinker? Since Orf is here, we might as well you wrap this thing up. These undeads need to be sent back to their place, and their souls hopefully rested when once Uzul is done with them, and then you can bring Orf back to your village. Your city, actually.
Well, he yawns. Oh, guys, much. Let's kill some.
Okay, Rai, I'm gonna give you command of all the undead. They are not particularly strong. They are not that strong, but I'm not too sure whether this is gonna be a very long fight.
They're not that strong, but I'm an asshole.
All right, okay, everybody, roll for initiative.
Before we attack, I'm just going to bond with Barut just first.
Oh my god, that's high. Okay, you bond with Barut. Barut looks to you, and after the Barut, like,
Damn
Yeah,
it.
right. Right. I'm not too sure whether the initiative worked. It's an old macro. Yeah.
I rolled a 10. I'm not sure why it didn't work.
Select your token, then.
Oh yeah, you need to click on your token,
Oh,
then click.
I wasn't on
initiative.
my token. Yep.
Yeah. Same with Barut also. You need to click on Barut's token, then you roll for initiative.
The thing I can't roll the initiative because it's bugged. The same bug is.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Barut just goes automatically after me as well.
Yeah, right. I forgot that. You can't use the macros. Only me.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they all have the same stats, so it's okay.
Orth.
Okay, who else have the roles for this?
That'll be just Orth. He did not select his token. You need to select your token here on this image on the map.
Okay, cool. There we go.
Yep. And do the same thing for your dragon. Drake, I
Yeah.
mean.
He just automatically goes after me.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have much to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you born on that. All right. Okay. Now round 1.
Fight.
Let me put the initiative order. Okay, now. Okay, Uzul. I suggest. Well, it's up to you. You're the priest. Bless them.
Oh, definitely. I need to give them the blessings of the priest. So let me do this, and you just see Uzul, just looks before you and say,
By the power vested in me by the gods of the light domain, I bless all of you.
and he like snap his finger, and you just have a sense of holiness and vigor and everything.
Sounds great.
All right, round 1. Then Uzul. Okay, the squares underneath you is 5 feet per 5 feet. So there's no need for rulers. Just use the squares.
Oh yeah, definitely. Uzul basically moved. That's 5, 10, 15, and that's 20. And I just ready action for the time being.
All right. Okay, skeleton.
Right. Forward. Oh god, the map's gonna blur for me. I can't see the grid. Okay. There. Let me.
When you move, you can say roleplay bow, because there's the people that fought during that war with the dragon, those that perish. Wow.
Wait, hold up.
I'm gonna give you roleplay for that. Roleplay EXP.
Voices. I can't tell if this is within. If it was also within 80 feet. God damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Have you moved the next one?
Hold on. I need to count the.
So just follow the squares. No need to use the rulers. But you really need to zoom in, man.
Yeah, I need.
Okay, next one. No.
Ow!
I hope you don't get a sore throat for doing that, man. Okay.
It's not that hard on my throat. It's hard on my stomach.
I do have 45 feet of it.
Yeah, you're the fighter here. You're the barbarian. You should move faster.
3, 5. I don't know, squid it. 7, no, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll rage. Yeah, this time I'm raging.
Okay, right? Raging. Roar! You follow in Durotan's footsteps since you're a Durotan student. Okay, Orf, your turn. Together with Barrett.
All right, I'll tell Barut, charge! Charge, Barut! And he'll move
It snarls and
45.
growls. Roar! Meow! Or arf arf. It depends. You have to roleplay Barrett for me.
And then for my action, I'll take a longbow shot at that closest one.
Yeah, the closest one. Near the standing stone.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be in range.
And I'll take it at sharpshooter at 2. That's a 13 to hit.
What?
Probably.
You can
Set up
you can
the-
roll. You can click on the attack if you have the attack. You can just click on it.
Yeah, on your character sheet.
I can, but it doesn't add all the extra dice to it.
I'll help with that while
Okay,
organization.
okay, or
Unfortunately, I can't do 50.
I'm gonna give full control to the players to help you on this.
Now. Yep. Roll again.
Just 1 second. The character sheet's just reloading now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Orf, you took out your longbow. You took aim at the nearest skeleton warrior. It's slowly walking and crawling, dragging its bony legs. So you say, "Whoa!" You shot. You hit. You struck his skull. Okay, damage. You need to click on that word longbow.
And that's +10 as well.
Click on the word longbow for the damage.
No, that's not the damage.
Yeah, no. I'm saying,
Honestly.
I'm saying, no. Click on the word longbow in the chat. The one you see in the chat.
Yeah, longbow.
Yep.
Yes, that's
There
the
we
one.
go.
Yes,
Which one are you hitting again?
This guy.
this one, the nearest one.
Yep. So 20 piercing.
Okay. 20 piercing.
10.
Yep, because it's with
10.
sharpshooter.
Oh yeah. Sharpshooter does.
Oh yeah.
And-
If you could just like take that off. That's dead. Herb, do you want to narrate the death, or do you want me to do it?
What's the total damage?
20.
20 over 16.
Okay, all right. Sharpshooter.
So that's
all
death.
right.
So
Okay,
as
done.
as Barut is running, a bolt goes over his head, picks up a bit of the fire off of his body, and goes straight into the nearest skeleton.
And then after that, you shoot through his skull, and then he falls. But this skeleton warrior is just down, not dead. Okay. Now, next one, skeleton warrior.
It's this guy.
Yes, I know how to use the characters.
Okay, next one.
Yes. Yeah.
Next.
Oh, there you go. This one is actually going to take a shot at Orth. Is that Orth? No, it's not Orth. Sorry. Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when they're walking, they all can take disadvantage shots at Rinkir.
God damn it! It's not.
Huh? Not showing?
It's not showing.
Yes, it's not. I think you need to open up the character sheet.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I'm using from, because I don't use the low buttons.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
It's a 10 on Rinkir is definitely a miss. Yes. Definitely a miss. Okay. Last one.
Yeah, actually, let's do. Disadvantage.
And shoot his short bow at Rinkir. Disadvantage and misses.
God damn it! I'm not even bothered adding +4.
Okay, then Uzul, your turn.
Okay, Ozul basically watched as Orov took out a longbow. He's like, maybe I should do that. I will target this guy with my light crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first attack, and second attack. It's a miss.
No,
Oh, okay.
actually, the first attack does hit.
Oh, okay, first attack hits, okay.
Yep.
And it's a 3 piercing damage, sadly.
This one in the center, right?
Yeah, this one.
Just his health. It's sort of like
Then you shoot, and you struck. Then, next one, Skeleton Warrior.
would that be inside? I think that
Yes.
would.
Okay, short bow.
God damn it!
Okay, no, I rolled to hit already. It
Oh,
struck
okay.
Rinkir.
I'll
Okay,
just roll it.
Rinkir, you receive 4 piercing damage.
Is that up?
Yep, only 2. Okay, Then next, okay, Skeleton Warrior, move.
Bow.
Okay, let me roll for the short bow. And struck Rinkier, and Rinkier, you receive 8 piercing damage. 4.
Okay.
Okay, you struck it, pop, pop, but you're still raged. Now it's your turn.
Can I go under the rock and crouch? Because I have not enough cover.
Can you what? Move?
No,
Can you move the
go?
rock to hide and cover? Did I hear that right? A barbarian totem warrior like hiding in cover. Okay. Yes, it does give you cover.
How much cover?
This one give you cover. This one give you cover. Yeah, it does. It just increases your armor class, and that's about it. Okay,
How
and
much
that's
armor?
done. Alright, okay. Orf, you saw Rinkir, the first son of Rhinzey, the student of Durotan, hiding behind a rock. You're like wondering to yourself, what's this barbarian doing? But then again, it's your turn.
As he hides behind the rock, Butterroot rushes past him closer to the skeletons. And I'll take a shot with my longbow at this one.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is with sharpshooter as well.
Yes.
Okay, 17. It's a hit. Damage. 10 plus
16.
That's
16. That's a hit. Okay, you knocked it down and it's down.
And Orth just screams out, "That's 2!"
Yes, that's 2. Alright, okay, Skeleton Warrior.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, I can hear the dragging sound.
Yes, that is the sound of their legs dragging. Here, have a listen.
Yes.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, let's take a pot shot.
Okay, can we roll for the short bow at Rinkier, even with his armor class? Okay, it's a miss, hits the rocks instead. Okay, now, this one.
This one, is going to dash. Right. Remember. It's like little clanking, like.
Whose turn is it? Oh yeah. Skeleton.
I'm gonna roll for skeleton twice, because they move. Okay, shooting at Rinkier and misses, and now is round 3. Okay, Uzul, your turn.
Okay, I basically go to the skeleton who came here, so that's 5, that's 10, 15, 20, that's 25, and attack him with my mace. Melee attack.
Okay.
First attack. Hits. Second attack. Ooh, my favorite number. First is the damage for the regular 13, and now the net 20, which is totaling 17.
Okay, it's completely destroyed.
You basically
Okay.
take out his mace from his belt and destroy the skull.
You go pop. It's like skeleton like wow, wow. And then after you turn to off, you say you scream 1. Yep. And then after that, skeleton warrior.
This one, goddamn, none of them are ever in range, except for the, actual bow attacks. Let's take a pot shot at Uzul.
Okay, was at the cleric. Let me roll for short bow. Nope, it's a miss. I roll an 8. Okay, next one.
Next one is going to try and actually it's in range. Yeah, that is in range. He's gonna run towards the lizard and have it slash at it.
All right, you slash. Let me roll for short sword, and I roll a 12 and a 12. I
AC
think
17.
Barut's armor class, yeah, 25, 17. Let me put his HP and in a circle. Okay. Right, it's a miss. Struck Barut's thick scale, but couldn't penetrate. Okay, Rinkier, your turn. You got 4 targets of opportunity. Which one you wanna kill first?
One. But
All right, are you gonna move forward or are you gonna use a range attack?
no, I don't have it. Move here. No.
Your voice is a bit far from the mic.
I can't even hear you.
Raw. Daunting raw.
Speak loudly.
I use daunting raw.
Oh, okay.
So that's my bonus action.
Wait, yeah.
8
Okay.
plus 13. 13.
13. Wisdom save, yeah. Okay, let me roll. Pass. Okay. Frightened. This one is frightened. Then after that, the next one.
No, that's
Pass.
bonus. So
Pass. Okay, only this one is frightened. That's it.
Okay. Then I'll attack one. That one. The blade. By losing, I'm moving one more. Because I got 45 feet of it.
Okay, alright.
Damn.
And you miss.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it? Alright. Okay, Orf, your turn.
Seeing that one of the skeletons tried to take a swing at Baldarut, he'll shoot that one.
Alright. They are in melee combat, so their armor class increase, but you might never know. You might go beyond their armor class. Okay, roll to hit. 18, 16, and then 16. Okay.
And because he's
Okay,
close to
yep.
Baldarut, this will be an infused strike, so he'll get an extra bit of fire damage.
Okay, you struck the skeleton warrior. Even though that Barut and Rinkier give this skeleton warrior an increase in armor class, you still hit. And then after that, you struck it, and then after that, it falls and dies. Rinkier, you see the skeleton is down. Again, struck by Orf, the ranger.
Baldarut will roar and run here and take a bite attack at this skeleton warrior.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, and it's a hit. Damage.
Oh, sorry. It's not that I still had sharpshooter on.
So it's 14.
No, it's only 4.
4. Okay. 4 damage. It's still okay. Still alive. Then the skeleton warrior that got bitten by Barut attacks Barut with his short sword and hits. And Barut receives 6 piercing damage, or 6 slashing damage. And this skeleton warrior attacks Rinkier, swings its short sword at Rinkier, and hits, and Rinkier received 4 slashing damage. To 2, actually, of course.
Two. Okay.
Yeah, 2.
Barbarian first.
Okay, and then that's the end of the round. Round 4. Okay, Uzul, your turn.
5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, I'll just stay here. Let me check the range on this spell first, because I want to cast a spell. Let's see. Where? Ah, here we are. One moment. Let's see. This one acting. Okay. Let me just check the range. Yep, it works. And I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt on... I should right throw the creature, yep, on this guy. Using Guiding Bolt.
Make a range attack. 19 is a hit. Damage.
One moment. And here is the thing. And it's a level 1 spell, and I'm using a spell slot of level... Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it at level 1 for now.
Oh, he's dead. Regardless. You blast your guiding bolt, struck the skeleton warrior, and it burst into dust, vanquishing its spirit back into.
Yep. Since I haven't moved, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25, and I'll be here.
Right. Okay, next would be Rinker.
Like, alright, which one's Triton? Triton.
Rinker, your voice is very far from the mic. You might have to wear the mic.
Is the frightened one already dead?
Yeah, dead.
Yeah, dead.
Okay. Then I'll attack this one. I'll try with my glaive. That hits,
Oh, of course, it's a hit.
and he's still raging. And that's
Okay. 13. Not enough to kill it though, but you're level 5. How many attacks do you have?
I do have an extra attack, I think. Oh wait, I also have Oh, that's Never mind. Do I have an do I have an extra attack? Yeah, I do. I attack again. But with my claws. And that hits.
Okay. That's a hit. Damage. Okay. After you struck it with your glaive and you struck again with his claws, you completely decimated the skeleton warrior and it's down.
Can I move? I haven't moved yet.
You move 5
I'll move
feet,
here.
you got another 25 feet to go.
I'm here.
Okay, alright. Okay, Orf, your turn. One more skeleton warrior.
Before I shoot the bow, I think Butterroot will take another bite attack at it.
Sure. That's a hit. And that's a 5. Okay. And then after that, before you actually pull your bow, Barut actually bit the legs from the skeleton warrior and took its bone away. And the skeleton warrior was tiptoeing and fell down and down. That's it. And all the combat is actually ended. But most of the spirits of the skeleton warrior, other than the one being shot by the guiding bolt, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 skeleton warriors that need to be blessed in order for their souls to go back to the true
Which is,
plane.
that's what Uzul basically will do. He will gather them up in like separate piles and bless them one at a time.
Okay. Right, roll for religion. Very simple.
Where is my Ah, here we are.
Then, which god is Uzul following?
He is following. Wait, that actually. Oh, Heliod. Heliod. He is the god of the anti.
Oh, Heliod.
Yeah, Heliod.
The god of the sun. Okay.
Yeah, the god of the sun.
pray to Heliod to bless the souls of the fallen warriors, and then you can see the souls slowly like rising from their dead remains. You can see them slightly wailing like wow, but then after that you hear the word thanks. And Orf and Rinker can see their souls slowly rising up to the sky. And then after that, you can see the remains, or the skeletal remains that used to actually being housed for the spirits, slowly turn into dust. The only thing that remain is their rusted armor, their rusted swords, and their badly damaged shortbow. And that's it. Then after that, you turn to Orf. Orf have a number of kills, and then you have two, and Rinker only have one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now roleplay. Orf, roleplay to you.
Looks like I'm not buying tonight.
Mm-hmm. Again. Hey, hang on a minute. You guys have to buy me. Technically, you knocked them all down. I'm the one who finished them all for good. Yeah. So I've killed, yeah, that makes me the winner.
Orf, they look at Uzul. Yeah, Uzul did actually bless the spirits away. But you did actually take them down slowly and slowly. But you look at Rinker, Rinker is just looking around. And then Uzul, after you completely bless the spirits away. You look at Orf. I guess it's actually time for you to actually talk to Orf and see if he's actually willing to actually follow you to CZ Rustum.
Ring care?
Yeah, he went up,
Oh, okay.
getting food.
Okay. You want to move to the next scene?
No, I'm waiting for you to roleplay with Orf.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Me roleplay with him. Okay. I just basically come closer to basically here and say,
Oh, you're pretty handy with that longbow of yours. Ever thought of, joining the clergy? Find the light of God in your path?
I don't know how welcome I would be to something like that. After
Alien.
I've grown up in this village and I've never seen much outside of it.
There, my friend. Helioid welcomes all the lost children. We're all children of the sun, and he watches over us. I mean, it is thanks to him that we basically triumphant in this battle.
I would like to hear more about this. This does sound good.
Oh, definitely. On our way to the next, to Restum, I will tell you all about the scripture. I will tell you the story of creation, too.
aka the Helioid version.
Where is it that you two were planning to travel now?
The Restum. And you're gonna come with us, too.
Well, Orf, you need to actually ask Uzul and Rinker to follow you back to Momoroko. You need to tell Anchor, the priest, that you have vanquished the ancient evil that actually befell the land. It's not really ancient evil, but the restless undeads.
It would be best to see Anchor before leaving.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need to tell him what we've done today.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Mm-hmm.
The three of you journeyed back from the forest and then head straight towards a small church where Anchor was waiting. Anchor was actually surprised to see that Rinker, the son of Rhinzey, is there following you together with Uzul, the son of Durotan. Or he was actually shocked. Then he bowed to them. Oh, Uzul, I thought you were actually on your way to Sri Rustum. Anchor spoke out and turns to you, Uzul. And Uzul was quiet, looking around. He didn't even hear what Anchor said.
Whose turn is it?
Anchor is talking to Ulzu.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me just. Shit, I zoned out. What the last thing that Anchor basically said?
Anchor looks to you, Uzul, and he said, always the airhead. Didn't even hear a thing I said. Then he turns to Orf. Orf, thank you again for your help, Anchor said. But, if anything, I heard what Rinke told me. That he needs your help, perhaps, in traveling to Revstum. Perhaps, I believe maybe his father or someone. But here, something for you. It seems to be some sort of important letter. He passes you a small scroll. Off.
I'll open it up and have a read.
And you open up the scroll and you take a read. And it says, I've heard about your exploit, Orf, and the way that you have defended Momoroko from the evils of Vow. I would like to seek an audience with you if possible, and I would like you to travel together with Rinker and Uzul. They are also heading towards Revstum, I believe. But if you do actually bump into them during your travel, I do suggest that you follow them. You might never know that you might bump into some sort of crazy adventures together. And then you put there, and I hope to see you soon. Signed, Varus. And then Anchor looks to you, Orf, and he said, who's the letter from?
Do I know this Venkus?
Varus.
Varus, sorry, do I know Varus?
Yes, Varus. Varus is the Lord of Revstum. Is the Lord.
Orth is just in a bit of shock, and it is from Lord Varus.
Anchor looks to you. He raises an eyebrow and he said, Lord Varus. Well, he hardly actually. He most of the time sends his knights over here if he actually want to seek an audience with someone. But I believe this letter must be a sign of urgency for him to actually seek you out. Well, he turns to Rinke and Ozul and he said, since the two of them are already here, why don't you travel with them?
That would make sense. Seems I have to make my way there anyway, so meeting your fathers may be appropriate as well.
Well, Anchor looks to you, Orf. Well, if there's anything that actually befalls this village, we'll probably seek out the assistance of other adventurers, since you're gonna be gone. And besides, getting adventurers nowadays is pretty simple, as long as you got the gold pieces for it. But as promised, Orf, here's the 10 gold piece that I promise you.
Forget the gold, Anchor, that's fine. You keep it, look after the town while I'm gone.
Always a generous one, Orf. That's what I like about you. Too bad. I wish I knew more about your parents.
As do I.
And then after that, Anchor heads straight towards the chapel and he waves his goodbye. Safe journey, Orf. I'll be standing here like the good NPC I would be, if I traveled with your friends.
I'll give you word if we do leave and you need to find me, just so you know where I am.
Ah, yes, definitely.
Okay.
And then after that, you see Rinker and Uzul preparing themselves for their journey. And Uzul, you'll hear the conversation about Varus actually seeking out Orf for an audience. It seems that it's quite fated that he would have to follow.
But Uncle Varus needs our help. Well, let's not dilly-dally. I'll make a sandwich on the way. Come, let's go.
And then Uzul, Rinker, and Orf make that long journey, that 3-day long journey towards Revstum. Meanwhile, in Frostwolf Mountains, Durotan, you see your son standing before you. You see Zlok, his bald-headed head, his monk attire, looking to you and your wife, his mother, out loud. Are you sure this is the right choice to make, Father? for you to actually leave Frostwolf Mountains and to travel to Revstum. I do suggest you stay and send me instead. You do know that you do know my brother is already there right now, perhaps waiting for Rinker to appear so that he can actually bash his head to the floor like he always does.
Who do you think I am, boy? I'm Durotan, a dragon slayer. I was slaying a dragon even before you were born. Leave everything to Uzul. I mean, all due respect, but Uzul is not me. I know how politics works. All he knows is prayer and killing the undead, and helping those around him. Honorable as it seems, but without my guidance, he'll be for sure lose his way. Zero, you're gonna come with me too.
Zrox. But father, I've seen the visions, even though it is cloudy. I see visions of shadows coming from the hills, coming from the sky.
He basically like walks slowly and down and puts his right hand on his son's shoulder and say,
This is why, my son, you will come with me. You are the eye of the clan. I need you by my side so you can tell this vision to the rest of the council. They need to know of this ominous warning and start to take preparations. In the meantime, Frostwolves, prepare yourselves. Looks like we're gonna be entering into a siege soon. I do not know when it will happen, but we need to be prepared. Prepare like there is no tomorrow. Come, my son. Let's be on our way.
You see Zrock's face. You see Zrock's face, worried, looking at you. But father, I told you about the vision. I saw Auntie Paiteon in complete darkness. She was in complete darkness, as if she is lost. I couldn't see what she's seen, but my visions is always accurate, father. I've seen visions of you in the same darkness as she is.
My son, if my time comes, I will face it with my head held high. Do not worry about me. I am old and weary, yes. But I will not go down without fighting. Do not worry about your old man. If anything happens to me, you will know what to do. Don't worry about me. Now, let's be on our way. We need to meet with the council. We shall be together. Don't worry.
Yeah, very well. Do you know where your other children is? Do you know where my sisters are? They've been gone for quite some time.
Attend your sister.
let me just pull up the names of the sisters. Okay.
I've sent your sisters Borba Orabel ahead to Revstum to have an earlier talks with the rest of the council to see if they can secure military support for Frostwolf. I had a feeling your visions might come to pass, but I did not know when. As old age caught up to me. But we need to be prepared. As for your other two sisters and brothers, I've sent them off on various errands. I've sent Shagar, as well as Lurug and Gorlag, to research ways on how to lift this darkness once and for all. As for your sister Bola, well, let's just say she has her own special mission. Even though we live here in the mountain, I still like to be well informed about what my brothers in arms are planning behind my back. It's a safe thing. You will know when it's your time to rule. In the meantime, my son, we need to do our due diligence and appear before our allies. Maybe finally this damn darkness will be lifted and you will see the sun again. without having to travel toward the ends of the earth just so you can see it.
Ah, Zrock looks to you. Very well then, father. But my visions do not lie. However, I would still wait until the time comes. But until then, I believe we should ride towards Caesar Reston. Perhaps Lord Rhinzey is actually waiting for you right now. Or perhaps he's actually doing something else. But it'll be good to see my old friends again, Rinbjo and Rintel.
Mm-hmm. Let us hope that everything works out. I'm sick and tired of fighting undeads. Our warriors too. We need to find some worthier opponent than these things.
And that's when, as he basically leaves, he just, salutes the warriors and everything as they, go about preparing the defenses.
You see, your old friend Blackrock looks to you. Don't worry, Durotan. I'll look into the defenses. Besides, all warriors are ready against the other Hard Rock clans and the Ganuk tribes. They will not dare try to invade Frostwolf or Durotan regions. But I hope your meeting with Varus and Cornelius and the others will bring a fruitful one. So, the undeads of Vow has been very restless recently. I'm not too sure why. It's as if some dark clouds have been even stronger ever since. But you have trained your children well, and the many warriors for the land have trained them perfectly.
Indeed, my old friend. The dark clouds are never endless when it comes to the gathering, but they seem to be the worst this time. I hope my talk, just like you say, is fruitful. We've been long on the defense for too long. It is high time we strike. If they, refused, well, there'll be no shame in leaving the weaklings behind, while we move on to glory. My old friend.
And that's when he puts his left hand on his best friend's shoulder and say,
Gather the shamans and the ambassadors from the other orc and goblin clans. Once I'm back, I'll need to have a word with them about the future of Frostwolves and this region to see which clan they stand and support behind.
Well, old friend. I'll look into it. And after that, you see Zlok look back. And after that, hug the mother. Go ahead, Mom. And I'll make sure, Dad doesn't do anything stupid like I always do. Then you see your wife looks to you, Durotan, and after that, wave. And after that, you see.
wait. As soon as you say the word.
You see Chi-Chi look to you and they said, Goodbye, my love. But make sure you don't do anything stupid.
Oh, please, my dear. The only stupid thing I did was, have 8 children with you. Too bad they're not 12. I've always wondered, can I push you to 12? But 8 seems to be, is the maximum. Anyway, let's go. Let's go, my son. We have a long road ahead.
The wagons, the carriage is ready, my father. But we have a few guards with us. But the rider himself will be taking in front, we'll be in the back. It'll be a few days of travel, but I doubt there'll be anything that actually will stop us. Who would dare to attack the great Durotan? Of course, my father, but who am I, please? But I'm just a humble servant of my master, Quovru. Zrock looks to you. And once returned, I'm going to hopefully open my own monastery.
Hopefully. Son, when we return from this meeting, that's when I'll know the result of it. Trust me, you can and will open your own temple. I'll make sure of it, my son. Also, for heaven's sake, grow some hair, boy. Seeing a bald orc is a bit shameful, At least in your case. Grow some weedy little mustache.
Bold is great, father. Who needs hair anyway?
Mm-hmm. Okay, he just gets on the carriage and, just sits and waits.
And then you sit on the carriage, your son blocks the carriage, and then after that you can see the goblin riders actually controlling the horses, bringing both you and your son all the way towards Caesar. But meanwhile, in Caesar, Rhinzey, you are at the garden. The moment you actually arrive, you can see your wife standing, and after that, feeding the kois in the water. You don't see your children around. Mostly, some of them actually at the dojos, Rhinzey. But you see Nala sitting there, looking into the water, and you feel serene, of course. Took you many years to actually rebuild the new Shizis world, but with the combined effort of Varus, both of you actually combined the name to Restum, while most of the lands is mostly to the south, will be by Restum, but yours is towards the north. You look at your garden itself, you see Nala looked to you, and then she said, "Can't sleep?" she asked you. "You have been having nightmares, Rhinzey. You've seen visions recently. A vision of a great dragon hiding within the shadows, hiding within the void. You aren't sure what. It's been a long time since you've been having nightmares of dragons. The last time you had such nightmare was abazigal destroying Caesar's wall, and then destroying what's left of the many villages down towards from the west and towards the east. You got waken up by that nightmare, and that's when you actually see Nala at the garden. And after that, she just asks you,
Um,
well, one simple question, Rinzai. Can't sleep, she asks you.
and I say, it's like, seems like my life is defined by nightmares. I had a nightmare when I was younger. I overcame that. Another nightmare. They just keep on coming. Am I doomed to live a cursed life where I only have nightmares?
The nightmares will be gone.
As I
Nala looks to you
walk,
and said,
yep. What does she say?
Nala tells you, she walks over to you. She wipes your forehead with the cloth that was actually given to her by her sisters from Karatur. And then she just wipes your sweat from it. And then she stares at you deep in the eye and she said, she holds both of your shoulder and then said, the dragon's gone. Abazigal's dead. Abazigal's is gone, and you don't have to worry. Tirson is locked in the deepest, darkest dungeons of Shizirestum. He have not seen a single light for the last 30 years. You don't have to worry. And our guards have been looking in and have been guarding that cell for a long time. From their children to these children. You don't have to worry about it. The dragon is gone completely. That's You have to forget about abazigal.
I don't think I will have a true good night's sleep as long as I still have Daikatana right there at our bed or next to me. I think it's about time, for I am now quite old, and I am no longer able to fight enemy battles. If I did, I don't think I would survive. Not that I wouldn't go in, die an honorable death with my comrades, and he looks down and he's, for my old master, my old mentor, my old chief, Leonel. And as he turned to his house where he came out of, it's like, I think it's about time where the history was rewritten by Katana. I think it is time to pass her on to Rinker. Rinker as his own story and his legacy to paint. And I believe now he is of age to do that.
Nala said, "Do you believe that he is at the right age?" She asked you calmly.
He is at the age that I was when I set out to conquer my fears, conquer my nightmares. I did, but then another came, and we did conquer it, did destroy it. But the memories of those I lost still haunt me. And the best thing I can do for them is to pass it on to my son, where I say, I promise to keep to you, and I will do it for my son or sons. This is what I can do as I am right now, and I will meet you in the next life, and hopefully you will accept me as you've always done.
Rin, then she looks to you, Rinzai. My father took a long time to even accept you into my life, and but he sees you for who you are. But before Nala could actually continue, suddenly you hear the door from behind you actually open, and then you see your daughter Amara coming out, and then said, "Mom, Dad, it's time." And then when you turn to your precious daughter Amara, her white fur nicely combed behind her back, she is the perfect impersonation of Nala, and taken also the genetics of Nala. She's not as aggressive as you, but she is wise and she is smart, just like the mother, but she's also as aggressive when she needs be, just like you, Rinzai. You turn to Amara, your daughter, and for every year, for every time, you always do the same ritual once. Then Amara then looks to you, both you and your wife, and said, "Mom, Dad, it's time. Let's not waste any time." Nala then looks to you, Rinzai, and then she said, "It's time to actually, it's actually time to pray to our old Lord, or your Lord, and your master, Rinzai. You forgot, didn't you? You forgot," she asked you.
No, I haven't forgotten. It's just that I don't know. I'm getting old. I must have it must have sit down
30
for a
years.
moment.
Nala looks to you, 30 years. Rinzai, with all our children, with all our children, she said, you really need to actually look into things. But you worry about the people, you worry about the lands, you worry about the resources and everything, and making sure that all the Leonins and Tabaxis have a home and have a place to be protected. You are their leader, Rinzai. You have to prove it to the other leaders that you can. But before they arrive, let's let us give our blessings to Lionel. Then Nala actually walks over, then meet her daughter. We'll meet you there. Okay, Rinzai? Then after that,
Yep.
then they both left, leaving you at the garden with your thoughts, thinking what you could do for the people. Now, Rinzai, what you want to do?
Um, I've fought my entire life to bring peace to my people, and there were setbacks and more setbacks. But as long as I still breathe, I guess this is the purpose that I was born for, and my sons will have a better future to bring to Chizzy, and glory of our once beautiful, beautiful will be restored. I hope. I'll do what I can this life, and I walk with purpose to where my daughter and my wife is.
And then you head over to where they are. The castle itself. You actually went together with Nala and Amara. The three of you kneeled down in front of the Daikatana, the sword of Lionel, which is passed down from him to you, right in front. You see the blade is still as sharp as it has been, still as beautiful as always been. You kneeled, Nala prayed, Amara prayed. You prayed for to your deity. Everybody here in this household is praying to the same deity that you worship and making sure that the deity protect you and your family and also the blade. The blade is always humming and always shines. It's like no matter what. You never carry the blade for the last 30 years ever since Abazigal was destroyed and killed. But you still hang his skull, Abazigal's dragon skull, in your castle. The castle was actually built together by you, Durotan, Cornelius, and also Varus, and also Zachariah, making sure that you and your family and all the other Tabaxis and Leonins have a place they call home. You have a number of guards that are protecting your palace, making sure that your family is always safe. But you also have two kids that's always going against each other. A bard, apparently, singing songs, and even the pitch is all wrong. But for you, Rinker is somewhere around, most likely in Morocco, together with Durotan's son, most likely actually recruiting probably another person that you probably want to meet up, and probably on their way at this very moment. You see Amara standing next to you, Rhinzey, and then after that she looks to you and it said, Amara looks to you and then she said calmly, Father, do you think this blade would choose me if I were to actually wield it? You'd always say that it have chosen Rinker, but I'm not too sure whether Rinker is the right person for it.
It is
She
not up
asks
to
you
me
calmly.
to decide, but it is the sword who will speak to me. The sword has chosen Ring. But for you, I believe the world is large for you to also find a companion of a weapon who choose you. It is not yet time for you, but there will a time that will come. Be
Nala
patient,
turns
my
to
daughter.
Nala turns to her daughter and looks to you, Rinzey, and then Nala said, Amara, there are many such legendary weapons scattered throughout the world. Many sometimes choose their masters. Just like this blade, the Daikatana choose your father, as they have chosen Lionel a long time ago. And perhaps one day, if there's a true calling, if you ever feel adventurous enough, perhaps the ancient legendary weapons would seek you out themselves, calling you in their dreams, but only when the worst situation happens. And this is just one of his weapons. This is only just one of his blades. And there are many more. And it's not only just a katana, it can be a long sword, a double-handed sword, a bow. It can be anything. It's forged by the dragons, forged by the ancient dragons themselves. And Amara then just looks at her mom. I don't believe in such tales. Besides, this blade was not found by father, it was given to him. I don't know that father went into some dark dungeons, fighting undeads, fighting demons. Must be some story that you come up with just to scare us as kids. She looks to you, Rinzey.
Sorry, can you repeat the last sentence?
Then after that, they just stand before Amara could say anything. When then you heard the gong in the distance, Rinzey. Dong, dong. And then suddenly you hear footsteps from below going up, and then you see one of the Tabaxi guards. He kneeled before you, and then to Nola, and then to Amara, and then the Tabaxi guard said, "Apologies, Princess Amara, Queen Nala, and Lord Rhinzey. Our guests are here."
My son has returned. Let us greet him, for I have a very definitive want.
Oh,
Let's go see.
no, my lord, it's not your son. It is Lord Varus. He have returned from his long journey from Karator.
Oh, it's Varus. Yes. Let's meet.
And then you see your Nala looks to you, and then she said, "I'll stay here together with Amara. perhaps you should go down and greet your old friends.
I shall. My beautiful wife. I shall.
And then after
As I
that, you
walk.
followed the guard. You followed the guard all the way down to greet Varus. Varus is indeed being gone for quite some time, together with his son, his only son, and also his daughter. But you have not seen her for quite some time also. That beautiful human girl, you think to yourself, you never would actually believe that Varus could actually have children of his own. But two? That was a surprise. But you went down and then you walked towards the front gates. And then you can see the guards at the gates greeting Varus as Varus actually slowly walked towards you. And then after that, he hugged you, Rhinzey. And then he taps you on the shoulder. How are you, my friend? It's been a while. Perhaps 10 years or more. Sorry, I've been away at Karatur. There was some urgent trade business that I need to actually look into. But am I the first here? Where are the others? Varus looks to you, his long white hair reaching up even beyond his neck, even to his back. His cloak, his robe, elegant. He's holding a cane with a head of a dragon made of pure gold. As after Varus looks to you. Varus speaks out, Rhinzey, you look like you've seen a ghost. I've changed, yes, but we humans, we age faster than, such as yourself, Leonid. But we're not gonna die of old age anytime soon, my friend.
Well, for me, time does fly, and it's been a long time indeed that I have not felt. But my body has been telling me. Sometimes I will listen, sometimes I won't listen. But regardless, it's been a long time. And others, what do you mean by others?
Yes. Where's Durotan? Where's Zachariah? Where's Elgin? Where's Cornelius? Are they here yet?
I did receive a pigeon, or a messenger pigeon. They said that they'll be here soon.
Ah, then it's good. Well, I always wanted to actually come here and visit and see your children too. How are they? How are they anyway? Where is Rinke? Where is Rinmyo and Rintel?
Rin Mule and Rin Tel are in the dojo, just being Leon and brothers. Just doing their thing in there. Just to decide who is the greater lion. And Rinker is out. I do not know what he's doing.
You should put a leash on your son, Rhinzey. Rinker is just like you when you were young, like him before. I remembered our first adventure together.
You should not put a leash on the spirit of the lion. The lions are free to roam.
Perhaps. But, well, while we wait, let me savor your most famous tea.
Okay.
Well,
Sure. I will call out to my servants and tell them to serve us some tea.
But before anything, I always wanted to see you again, my friend. It seems that It seems that Shizi Revstum has been quite in good hands because of you, the people, and the many races that live here. They're quite living in harmony. Oh, however, I wish my son was here, but my son is apparently busy. He's handling some sort of dispute at Bawa. I'm sure what it is. But as long as it brings us closer with the Lord of Karatur, at least the trade will be stronger. I also found one thing. One thing, Rhinzey. I have dire news to actually tell you.
What is it?
Sadly, you would have to wait, Rhinzey, for this dire news, because it seems that we have to wait until the next coming session. And to be continued.
Okay.